Oh, for the glory of God to be restored to the church as the utmost importance and glorious thing that we can experience, to have that manifest presence and light and glory and power and weight of the nature of God, of who He is, and the glory of God being the thing in the church, so that everything we do is about the glory of God, for His glory, experiencing His glory. And He has exalted His word above all His name. And this is an important truth that we need to get a hold of, because His name, or His nature, His character, who He is established through His word. And that's why He honors His word, or exalts His word above all His name, because the establishment or fulfilling of His word proves who He is. And so we need the Word and the Spirit both moving in power in the church to see the manifest glory of God in our presence, in our midst. And we want the glory of God. So many of us said we want the glory, we want the presence of God, but our fear of Him is little. And that's a dangerous position to be in. You see, David, he wanted to bring the ark back to Jerusalem. It was time to bring the glory back. The ark was seen as the glory of God in that day, the presence of God. And so it was time to bring it back. They wanted the glory of God, and it was time to bring it back. And He sent out His people, and they went to get the ark of the covenant, and they were coming with it on a cart pulled by oxen, and they stumbled. And a man put out his hand to touch it because he didn't want it to fall, but he lost his life for his irreverence. And even David, he was angered, he was upset with what had happened, but he realized soon why it happened. And he greatly feared the Lord, it says. When he got over his anger, he greatly feared the Lord that day, and he sought out the proper way. You see, he wanted the glory of God, but didn't follow the word of God. There was a prescribed thing in the word of God that had to be done to carry the ark, and the Levites were the only ones who were designated to carry the ark on poles, and they were not even allowed to touch it either. And so there was a prescription, an order by the word of God that had to be fulfilled. Is God to ignore His word for our convenience, for our ignorance? No, because His word establishes who He is. And to turn on His word would be to turn on His character. And so there's a prescribed thing in the word of God on how to carry the glory. And so this is why we need the word of God and the Spirit of God unified in our hearts, in our church, in our beliefs. We need both. Just going after glory and presence without word is dangerous. And we see that in this story. And so there's a fear of the Lord that we need to be gripped with if we really want to experience God's manifest presence and glory in these days. If you want to hear more and like this, be sure to hit that subscribe button.